Hello, my name is Claire and this is Samuel, and I make videos on motherhood and lifestyle, usually involving this little guy. He is now 8 months old, which is crazy. But this video, as you can probably tell by the title, is about his allergies. So this is a really new thing. It was about a week ago. So it took me a wee while to start this video and to film it because it was really upsetting what happened, and I got quite a fright, and I'm hoping making this video might help other mums that maybe go through the same situation when they're trying their kids out on stuff that they could have potential allergies to. So please subscribe if you enjoy this kind of video. I make lots of different content and yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. So I thought I'd first of all talk about what happened to Samuel and, you know, how it all came about, because I thought, you know, other mums are going to be in this situation and maybe not know what to do as well, because, yeah, it was really, really frightening. So about a week ago, Samuel was having his lunch, so I decided to make him a little bit of toast with a wee scraping of peanut butter on it. So what I did before I gave him the peanut butter on toast was I put a wee touch of peanut butter on the end of his spoon and let him try that. And he seemed to really enjoy it. I waited 5 minutes or so. There seemed to be no kind of reaction. So I put a wee scraping of it on his toast and I gave it down to him. And he started eating it. He started to really, really enjoy it. He was munching away. You know, he's never had any issues with any other kind of food. So I thought I would just put that in there. So this was a bit of a surprise. I expected just to give him this and there would be no issues. But quite suddenly he started to have a reaction. Sorry, the cat just wants some attention as well now. He started to have a reaction quite quickly. It was red splotches all over his face. I'll insert a picture here. So I took this picture quite late. You know, at the time I didn't think I should take pictures or anything, but when we were in the hospital I decided to take some pictures. Right, hold on. Let's get you something that is going to keep you entertained. Will we? Will we pop you down on your playmat? Hold on 1 second. Okay, so I have got Samuel just down next to me. He is sitting on his playmat. I have got a very, very needy cat who I'm going to bring around here so he doesn't really try and push me off the chair. And we'll get back into the video. So as I was saying, this picture was in the hospital, so it is quite some time after the initial reaction. The initial reaction was red splotches over his face and his cheeks and to his arms as well, and his hands. Anywhere really that the peanut butter had touched is where his reaction happened. The reaction also had little kind of white looking bumps in the red splotchiness that was on his skin, and this happened really quickly. So I got him up, I tried to clean off as much of the peanut butter as I could. I gave him some water. And at that point he was kind of spitting the water out, which really gave me a fright because I thought, you know, what if he can't swallow this water? So at that point I phoned 999. You know, it was maybe a minute after the initial, like, me noticing it, trying to wash it off, and then him not drinking any water. So I got such a fright, so I phoned 999 and I was speaking to them on the phone. At this point Samuel wasn't distressed, he wasn't turning blue, or, you know, I mean, I laughed, but it wasn't funny at the time. He wasn't showing any signs of being concerned, and I think the lady at the other end of the phone, you know, I think recognised that it wasn't a severe allergy at that point. But I mean, I didn't know that. You know, I was just going by how quickly the flare-up happened. You know, how he wasn't drinking water and he was kind of spitting the water out. So I was really worried, but she advised me to go straight to our local hospital. And that's what I did. So I jumped in the car, I picked up my partner on the way. You know, I phoned 999, I got off the phone to them and I phoned my partner straight away, grabbed him, got the keys and ran out the door. Picked him up on the way because his where he was coaching that day was on the way to the hospital. he sat in the back with Samuel to make sure there was no, you know, continued reaction, because the lady on the phone said if there's any kind of other reaction, you know, his breathing becomes laboured, anything like that, then I have to stop the car and phone 999 again for an ambulance to come and get him. So that was all super, super worrying. But we got to the hospital really, really quickly. We went straight in. So I'd never been to A&E before with Samuel. But A&E in Scotland anyway, in a local hospital, they have a separate kids A&E, which they took him straight in. They got him seen by a nurse, and she took his vitals. So she made sure his breathing was okay, she made sure his pulse was okay, his temperature, and everything was fine. And by that point, he was fine. He was laughing and he was absolutely fine. It was probably just me really, really worried and overreacting slightly. But I mean, I didn't know. I didn't have any kind of experience with allergies. I personally don't have any allergies, and my partner doesn't have any allergies either. So yeah, that was really, really scary. So that was fine. The nurse checked us over, and then we had to wait to speak to the doctor. So we waited, I don't know, half an hour or something. It wasn't long. And the doctor came in and he explained, you know, that this allergy is a really common allergy. He advised us not to give him any peanut butter, which we weren't going to anyway. But he said don't give him any peanut butter, and also any other kind of nuts or anything. Although I've since read that peanuts aren't technically a nut, they are a legume, I think it is. I mean, I am not an expert in any of this, so please, if this happens to you, do your own research or speak to professionals. We have been, we've been, what do you call it? They have, oh my god, what's the word? Referred, that's the word, referred. They have referred Samuel to the allergy specialist, which they can say can take a few months. So we won't be giving him any kind of nuts or anything like that until we speak to a specialist and get some expert advice on it. So I wanted to add as well, so I'm breastfeeding Samuel and I eat nuts. I ate nuts all through pregnancy. I have no idea if that has an effect on anything. But the doctor said carry on. He's never had any reaction before, so the doctor said carry on the way that I am. If I want to eat peanuts or any other kind of nut, I should, because it doesn't seem to be affecting Samuel in that way. So I will carry on eating nuts. I will be really cautious about Samuel being around nuts though, just until we speak to the specialist. Because it was classed as a mild reaction, it was just a skin reaction. His throat didn't swell up, anything like that. Because it was classed as a mild reaction, it might be possible in the future to introduce nuts again to him, which would be fantastic, because I would much prefer that he has no limit on what he can eat or what he can try, or foods around the world that he can eat. So yeah, hopefully in the future we can reintroduce it, but for just now we are not going to give him any nuts or anything like that, because it was such a worry. Or sorry, let me just put the cat down. It was such a worry before when that happened. I've never experienced anything like that before. Another thing that the doctor said was to keep like Piriton or something like that. Some sort of, oh, cat just fell off the chair. This video is a riot. Yeah, keep Piriton or something like that in the house, because it really works well on allergies. So if he has any kind of allergic reaction to anything else, then give him some Piriton, some kids Piriton. So we have got some of that in the house now for any emergencies that might come up. And yeah, it was absolutely terrifying. So that was my experience with our first little emergency with Samuel, I guess. Our first little allergy. It was terrifying. I do not want to go through anything like that again. I mean, Samuel was totally fine through it all. He was laughing and giggling, and yeah, there was no issues with him. It was just Mummy that got a fright, I think. But yeah, so my advice would be to any mums that their babies do have any kind of reaction, have Piriton at home. if it's a severe reaction and there's any kind of like not breathing or anything like that, just phone 999 straight away. Nobody seemed to think that I overreacted. Like the doctors, the nurses, the 999 people, nobody, everybody thought, you know, and my family and friends as well, because I was worried that I was going to be like an overreacting mum. But then what if something did happen? What if it was a bad allergy? I mean, think like if I hesitated for a minute or two, you know, I don't even want to think, you know, what could have happened. So we are going to err on the side of caution with things like this, especially with Samuel. So as you would with anybody that's got babies or children. So yeah, that was our experience with it. I think this wee guy is over this video now, so we will leave it here. Right, baby, say goodbye. Say goodbye. Are you going to say goodbye? Thank you very much for watching, and apologies that this video was such a chaos at times. That's just real life. Please subscribe if you enjoy this type of video, and we'll see you in my next one. Bye.